in Ruth chapter number 1, and I promised you yesterday that we would talk about an incredibly good choice that was made in the book of Ruth that had great consequences. And I hope I didn't overpromise, because I'm hoping to get to that verse today. We might not quite make it. I might have to leave you on the cliff over the weekend, but let's just jump into it. So Naomi and the girls have packed their bags. They're on their way to Judah, to Bethlehem, Judah. And Judah, by the way, is the tribe in which Judah is located. Bethlehem Ephratah. Ephratah is the area, kind of like the county maybe. Ephratah means fruitful. Bethlehem means house of bread. And of course, we know a whole lot more about that town years later when Jesus is born there. Look at verse number 9. The Lord grant you, Naomi said to the girls, that ye may find rest, each of you, in the house of her husband. The word rest here connotes the idea of security, that your needs will be met, that you'll be safe. Then she kissed them. They lifted up their voice and wept. That's a bad scene. You know, girls, just so you know, when you get emotional and start crying, we don't know what to do. I'm talking about us guys. We just don't know. We just turn on ESPN. We don't care if we're watching the rematch of a Czechoslovakian tennis match. We just kind of want to get away from that. But anyway, these girls are crying. They're emotional. I'm going to miss you. I love you. And watch what happens in verse number 10. And they said unto her, surely we will return with thee unto thy people. So, like, the girls are saying, no, we're not going to take no for an answer. Now, Naomi, you've said that it's safer and better for us to go home. But think about the influence that Naomi has between those girls, because they both want to stay with her, and they both are willing to, quote unquote, risk it to go back with her. And so Naomi is faced with kind of a difficult decision now. Do I accept their desire to go back? How far do I push this? So watch what Naomi says in verse number 11. And Naomi said, turn again, my daughters. Why will ye go with me? Are there yet any more sons in my womb, that they should be your husbands? Turn again, my daughters, go your way, for I am too old to have an husband. If I should say, I have hope, if I should have an husband also tonight, and should also bear sons, would you tarry for them till they were grown? Would you stay for them from having husbands? Nay, my daughters, for it grieveth me much for your sakes that the hand of the Lord is gone out against me. And they lifted up their voice and wept again, and Orpah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave unto her. So, what happens? Well, Naomi gets a little bit more pushy. She says, girls, I asked you nicely to go back. I told you it's better for you. Now you're saying you want to stay with me, and Naomi goes into it. What good is it for you to stay with me? Okay, I can offer you nothing. You know, back in those days, if your husband died, you could marry the brother, right? And so Naomi was thinking, you know, what do you want me to do? Get remarried? I'm too old for that. I'm not going to get remarried. And if I do get remarried, what are you going to do? Wait for me to have children? You're going to wait for those sons to grow up, and then you're going to marry them? That doesn't make a bit of sense. The best possible logical solution, the best case scenario I could invent in my mind would be that I would get married immediately and have a husband immediately and have children immediately. And then you 20 years from now, you could get married. It makes no sense. Go home. All human logic, all human reasoning points to one solution, and that is you stay here, I'll go there. I mean, why should you have to pay for what God is punishing me for? Did you read that in the text? I did. Why should you have to suffer for what I am being punished for? You see Naomi's attitude? Naomi's attitude is, see, God's doing something for me. God's beating me up. God is taking everything from me. God is mad at me. God, this bitterness in Naomi's life is really becoming all-consuming. It's controlling her, isn't it? And so she pushes very strongly, go home. That's the best thing that you could do. And Orpah kind of sees the light. She's not any happier. She loves her mother-in-law, but she realizes, she's right. And I probably do need to follow this advice. And so they kiss and hug and cry, and Orpah leaves. But the Bible says, but Ruth stays. So now 2 times Naomi has said to these girls, so 2 times she said to Ruth, go home, go home. And 2 times Ruth has said, no, I'm staying, no, I'm staying. Now look at verse 15, where the Bible says, and she said, behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people and unto her gods. Return thou after thy sister-in-law. 3 times a charm. She's told her twice already. Now a 3rd time, Naomi is saying to Ruth, Ruth, just leave. Your sister saw the light. Your sister's going back. Everyone else is. Come on, just jump on the wagon. It's what's best for you. It's what the decision that Orpah made. I'm not going to be good company. There's nothing in Bethlehem of value for you. You're never going to have your hopes realized. You'll never get married. Ruth, it makes no sense. What's very interesting is Naomi is the one that knows God, and she's speaking foolishly. Ruth is the one, up until this point, who does not know God, and she's thinking biblically. And we're going to see that in verse 16. And we got there. We got to the verse I wanted to get to. Because look at verse 16. And Ruth said, entreat me not to leave thee. Quit asking me to go. You've asked me 3 times. Stop. Don't ask me anymore. Entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For, or because, whither thou goest, I will go. I'm going wherever you go. You take a wrong turn, I'm taking a wrong turn. You get off the highway, I'm getting off the highway. You stop at the rest area, I'm stopping at the rest area. You stop at Starbucks, I'm stopping at Starbucks. Except I'm not going to get a drink at Starbucks. Okay, that's not really there, but that's the implication. Verse number 16. And where thou lodgest, I will lodge. I'm going where you go. I'm living where you live. Thy people shall be my people. Your family, your extended family, your national family, civic family, they will be my family. I'll become an Israelite. I will become a Bethlehemite. I will give up my Moabite-ish status. I'm giving up. I'm going where you go. I'm living where you live. I'm identifying with you as a people, but here's the big decision. Here's the big decision with the best consequences. Look at the end of verse 16. And my God, and thy God, my God. That was Ruth's salvation decision. That was Ruth repudiating the gods of Moab. That was Ruth saying, my heart, my affection, my decision is to embrace God and God alone, Jehovah God. There must have been something authentic about Naomi's testimony all those years. And even though she's behaving bitterly now, there was something about God and the way that God had worked in that family, maybe even in her husband, that Ruth had seen. And now she has made a decision. The God of Israel, the true God, Jehovah God, is my God. And then she adds, where thou diest, I will die, and there will I be buried. The Lord do so to me, and more also, if aught but death part thee and me. Wow, what a decision. Do you know that this one decision, of course, had great consequences. We'll see Ruth in heaven one day. But even on earth, this decision, it saved Naomi. It saved Ruth. It brought her a husband. It brought her children. It brought her identity. It brought her stuff. It brought her a position in the line of Jesus Christ. It gave her grandmother status of the Messiah. Oh my goodness, above and beyond what we could ever ask or think, simply because she chose God. Well, I hope that's your testimony. What a great, great story. I can't wait to see how this unfolds, but you're going to have to come back